Happy Tuesday. It's Ta-Da Tuesday. But this week for Ta-Da Tuesday, I want you to think, rather than about all the things you got done or like big accomplishments, really where you were and like where you were just being and noticing and present. So if you have any of those for Ta-Da Tuesday, accomplishments are awesome too. Feel free to share them. But I also want you to think through the things that are the ta-das that we don't typically celebrate. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit about mine. Sorry for the bouncing. I'm in a very gentle Peloton ride. It's a recovery week for my 29/29 training, and I cannot tell you how excited I am about having a recovery week. So mine came up with last week. I did like this huge training day where I essentially climbed the equivalent of 2 Whistler elevations. The 29/29, if you're not familiar with it, is this endurance hike I'm doing in August. And it's essentially, you have 36 hours to climb the height of Everest, which is 29,029 feet. So that'll be 8 laps of Whistler. So I did like a quarter of it, which I feel pretty good because I'm about 14 weeks out. So you would think that that would be my ta-da! Proud as I was for accomplishing that training workout and feeling strong and feeling good afterwards, my coach, Renee, who I've been working with since last fall, reminded me that the only reason I was able to do that is because of the work that I've put in up until that point. And I haven't really been talking about it much. I haven't been celebrating it. But it's just that reminder that the work that you put in and that you don't necessarily see or do publicly is also to be celebrated. So I think that was the whole reason why I kind of started and switched this get-to-dos to ta-das, is celebrating the little things, like actually taking a rest day like I did yesterday. The last thing I want to add is that I think that this is easier once you have like hit your goal or done the thing or done what's socially acceptable to be celebrated. But we don't always get there. And we're always doing the things that are working up to that point. And I think getting into the practice of celebrating along the way and the journey and the hard things as your ta-das versus just the big like accomplishment at the end is really important. So with all that in mind, I'm putting up another Ta-Da Tuesday box that if you weren't able to submit something for the first one, or if you did, let's add some other like little wins along the way, even if those are typically thought of as being negative. Because I think for part of this journey, for me, the most important thing that I should celebrate is the week when I wanted to cry every day, where I basically cried and procrastinated, and it was awful. But I want to celebrate that because it taught me a good lesson. It reminded me of how I want to feel through this. And then it also has made me remember the things I'm doing to make this incredibly hard training plan feel light. For example, gyro. I'm going to gyro this afternoon, and it is like the highlight of my week, and I know that it's helping. When I did this crazy big long workout last week, I wore my sequins scrunchie. I don't have it in right now. And I've been watching shows that I really enjoy. I talked to my best friend for part of the workout. So it's doing these pieces that bring lightness and joy to it